All right, here we are in Slab City at the skate park, inside the Handlebar, and we're talking to Marco. What's up, Marco?
Hi there.
So, is this your first season in Slab City?
This is my first season to live here. I've been here for a few months now, since before Thanksgiving. I first visited back in 17, like 4 years ago. When I first moved out to Southern California. That's when I first heard about Slab City.
Now, what brought you here?
Well, I'm an adventurous type and curious. And I'm especially open to different ways of living.
Oh yeah. Did COVID have any effect on your year?
For sure. I had already transitioned to kind of like an RV situation. So I was well equipped to be in my own spot and travel around as well. But it was still way too hot to be out here last year until the fall.
So do you remember the first time you ever heard of Slab City, Marco?
Yeah, moving out to San Diego in 2017, and I heard it billed as last free place on Earth, kind of an ungoverned land, ungoverned village.
Had you been traveling to any other places like this, or other counterculture locations, or just you kind of came here straight from San Diego?
That was the same year I attended a rainbow festival.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And where was that
gathering, rather. That year it was in Oregon.
What do you know about the rainbow that you want to share about?
The same feeling and same mentality that we can all be in here together and for each other and with each other. And we can all bring peace to it and come together like that. And still keep up a bad reputation to keep out people who might not work the same way.
Yeah. So do you think you'll ever go to another rainbow gathering?
I'd love to. Yeah, I would continue that. And I really appreciate the pop-up aspect of it. You know, it forms and dissolves so spontaneously and quickly in a way. But I really like out here as far as a more permanent, a semi-permanent infrastructure.
Yeah, there's not really anything like this that I've seen.
Right, like an ad hoc village that just springs up and morphs along its way. You know, where are the water supplies?
It's probably a little more true to how it used to be.
It still does feel Wild West. You know, you can see Gold Rush in this kind of area.
Now, are you going to stay this summer in Slab City?
I intend to try.
And you have your own camp and stuff and all that, or you're with some friends?
Yeah, we're forming a bit of a crew. I originally got in with the hostel, and that's still the kind of epicenter of the area that I care about. So it's interesting. I feel like summer is a real opportunity to transform as well, since so few people will be here.
Yeah, I get that. Do you have any tips for people, maybe first-timers coming to the slabs, or people that don't know what the slabs are, or anything special you want to say about the slabs?
Definitely come, do visit. Visit with an open mind. Come see Salvation Mountain and see what can be done with, just these really interesting efforts and passions. And then see what you can give to it too, what you can add to the culture and what you can discover and take away in your heart.
That's really beautiful. That sounds like a church testimony or something. That's really good. I like the way you put that. So do you think you're gonna dip out and do side trips, or you're kind of just gonna keep your energies focused here throughout the summer?
Well, I do want to hunker down. I haven't grown a lot of roots anywhere, and I'm more inspired to here than really anywhere I've seen. It does feel like a place worth investing in.
Well, that's awesome, man.
But yeah, escapes may be needed when when things really get hot. So
It's coming. Yeah. What's the hottest you've ever experienced?
we'll see. Well, I moved out from southern New Mexico, so certainly around like 110s, but it should exceed that by at least another 10 here.
Yeah, I think it gets up to like 130, 140.
Be
I'll shut up.
stasis.
We have a fan, yeah.
Well, now there's so much solar. You know, the technology is so green now that it feels good. It really feels great.
You think there'll be more people like living this way in the future, potentially?
Yeah, once we see that it can be better, it can be better than how we're living already. It's such a simple and you know, low waste way that.
Yeah, sometimes I think, not with a chip on my shoulder, but how little of a carbon footprint I might have compared to normal people. And I hate to use the word normal people, but yeah, it's kind of a good feeling knowing that really, like, I don't have as much trash, I don't use as much fuel.
Well, I think people also can feel like you have to sacrifice things, and you have to sacrifice comfort. But I think what you actually have to sacrifice is luxury, and that's essentially bad for you. So
Luxury, yeah.
yeah.
So in the end, like, you're growing.
So yeah, you're doing yourself a favor.
Well, yeah.
So, but that's all we need is a way to make it happen, a way to build communities like this simply from the ground up. And the one thing we're actually missing here is growing our own.
I want to see what I can do next year.
So,
I have a couple plans potentially if I come back and try to start a camp. Get some water access.
yeah, growing any plants. That's all we need, farming.
I agree, yeah. More self-subsistence. Self-subsistence.
I mean, some blend, because you can't exactly permaculture, things in the desert that it won't support. So, but encapsulated gardens, they can work.
Heck yeah. And is that something that you have any knowledge about?
Limited.
Well, maybe if I do really get funds put together and get something working next year, maybe I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, I would love that sort of initiative. I would be into. Also, a walking club.
Oh yeah. I'd love to work on like maybe a permaculture type concept where you can teach people how to like turn plastics into gasoline. I hear there's a method online where you can like separate your compost, burn your paper, so you get rid of the plastics. Your compost is for the food, burn your paper, you separate everything and you show people how just a little bit of work can get you a long way with self-sustenance.
Right. Now I'm wondering how we can start building with trash and utilizing it, not just having to get rid of it, but even taking advantage of this terrible resource.
Maybe if we could find some sort of small-scale trash compactors, we could make like trash igloos.
Absolutely.
Make a whole village of trash igloos. Now that would be kind of cool.
Little insulation bricks, and these can be used for structures, furniture.
And then get like the foam on the outside, make little igloos out of it. That'd be kind of cool.
Trash industry.
Yeah, again, I'm the same way. I want to think about like things we could throw back and help the community. Some people I've noticed aren't so much about it, but that's their perspective. They're allowed to have that.
Yeah. Well, I'm still, since it's my first season in the permaculture way, I was trying to spend at least a year here and really, do that and observe, meddle minimally, but still grow those roots, get bonds, make friends, make some not so friendly relationships too. It's part of it.
It is it. It's a part of growth. Cool. Well, are there any other things you think you want to share about Slab City or in general before I let you run off and get back to relaxing?
I would say, come out sooner. This place might become Lithium Valley for too long, we'll have the battery factories, and it might transform altogether. So, things are always changing. The sooner you can discover what's out there, what's different. The sooner you can apply those things to your own life. And I'm stuck. I'm stuck now in the best way.
Well, that is just so cool. I appreciate you sharing that and sharing so openly. People really look forward to these types of perspectives because a lot of times our vision is so narrowed, especially out in like what we call Babylon here. The real world, our vision becomes so narrowed we can't even like see into other people's perspectives. So people really appreciate travelers like you who are willing to just so raw and real put it out there. So I want to thank you for them and for myself.
Well, thanks for listening and asking.
For sure. Marco, I'm excited. If you want, we can trade some contacts, but I'm going to end this. And thanks again for the video. Take care.